Thank you for all for joining us today for our AI 101 class. And it's sponsored by our 50 Plus committee. And I'd like to thank Thomas Carger, who is the chair, and Conrad Roberts, who is the vice chair. And they're going to be doing more events next year. So please, if you have any suggestions, reach out to me or reach out to them. I will share emails after we are done today. And we'd love to hear from you. And we're going to do some in-person events as well as virtual. When Conrad first brought this idea to me, I quickly came up with the perfect person to do this. It's my friend, Thomas Anglero. He's class of 1984. We've known each other for about 43 years. He's a renowned public speaker and gives TED Talks on innovation and AI. He's launched 2 startups and was the executive at a global technology company, is one of Europe's leading AI experts, and he's what I liked. Well, there's many things I like about him, but he also actively integrates AI into his daily life and work. So I think that would be, he's going to show us practical applications for AI, talk about where it's going, and we're pleased to have him today. And I'd like to thank Tom and Conrad again for doing this event with us. And I also would like to welcome Evan Goldman, who is our new alumni engagement associate, who's working with me in the alumni department. So you'll be hearing a lot from her over the course of the next, for many years. And we hope to see many of you at our 50 Plus Club luncheon on Alumni Day. Alumni Day is a little early this year. It's on September 27th. So we hope to see all of you at that event. You'll be receiving more information in the coming days. And I'm going to turn it over to Thomas. Thomas?
Someone muted me. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. All I was saying was that those are the nicest words you said to me in 43 years. So I thank you very much for that intro. Hello, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to meet my fellow alumni going back through the years. And I hope the time we spend together now is a lot of fun. We are all family. So please interrupt me and ask me questions because I don't think anybody likes anybody monologuing. To give you my reference with AI, I have been in AI for, going on 15 years now. And I was the global spokesperson for IBM Watson. And one of the things I'm most proud of when I was with IBM was I opened up the IBM Watson Center for Cancer in Oslo. I live in Oslo, Norway. And I think that's really, it's not just about doing my homework, right? Having the AI do my homework and shortcuts to life, but using the technology really to help, not help people, but make a difference, and especially in the area of cancer. So IBM had and still has some great technology in that area, but now there's so many other companies and we'll go through it, and we'll go anywhere in any direction you want. But healthcare is exploding, and solutions are being found many times a day because of the advancements in AI. So I'm really proud to have worked with IBM. I work with Cognizant. I've worked all over the place in different companies. So with that, if any of you fellow alumni have any great questions that you are dying to nail me to the wall with, please do. Does anybody, please, don't raise your hand, just speak up. Make believe you're Margie yelling at me like she always does. So
okay, I have a yell.
You have a yell.
I keep hearing that AI requires a great deal of energy, and that's not in abundance.
Yeah.
Is that true? And what are we going to do about it?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. It's 100% true. And so I'll get I'm trying not to be so nerdy. I'll go high level, then go deeper. So yes, AI requires huge amounts of energy. And what that means, AI requires energy, is the data centers that the big companies are building and medium-sized company buildings, and also corporations are actually now building their own data centers. They first put everything in the cloud, and they, if you think of the old world, every company used to have their, bunch of computers in the basement. Then we went to the next world of, oh, no, 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 it's better to put everything into the cloud. And now with AI, people are saying maybe we should have our own stuff in the basement. But if you look at Microsoft, Facebook, they're building data centers all over the world. Google, all over the world. And these are huge data centers. And the cards, the graphic cards or the AI cards that do the processing for the AI are using 10 times the power of a standard CPU card or a server, a normal server. So as the AI is being used by more and more people, as more and more people use ChatGPT, we're going to need more data centers, and they're using 10 times the power of a normal data center. So what's happening now, and this is not the good part, is that the need for, if I'm answer this question from an American perspective, we could do other countries if you want me to. The United States will now start using natural gas and coal much more. Remember, they were trying to move away from that because of pollution and all that. Forget about that. The only way to provide the extra power is the natural gas and the coal. But the biggest problem the U.S. has is not that is not enough energy, is that the electrical infrastructure in the United States, the transmission infrastructure to get electricity from point A to point B, is old. So the U.S., there's a lot of power in the U.S., but you can't transfer it to get it to the data center or from the data center to someplace else. So yes, it's going to use a huge amount of power. The U.S.'s infrastructure is too old to handle this AI revolution. And so there's a big problem in that there's not enough power to keep the United States in the AI race, where the rest of the world, they don't have those problems. Like here in Norway, our electricity in northern Norway is practically free. Nobody pays electricity. I mean, they could keep their heat on to a sauna all winter long, and they pay about $1 at the end of winter. So we have excess energy. We have a fantastic infrastructure. So the AI is, when we look at cost of it and who's going to win this race, you have to look at infrastructure. You have to look at cost. There's a whole bunch of things. It's an interesting place we're at now. But the U.S. is starting to lag behind because it lacked investments in infrastructure for decades. It's hurting it now. Was that okay answer, or did I go too deep someplace else? I find it really exciting. I find it interesting because you look at geopolitics, you look at all the different presidents we have, budget cuts and all that, and now with AI, in the U.S. we're going to be number one AI. But you've been cutting budget cuts for decades. Now it comes and bites you in the butt.
Thomas, what are some of the most common misconceptions about AI?
Oh, wow. Everything.
Okay.
The number one misconception is that AI is going to come and take your job. That is, AI is a tool like this mobile phone. Okay. This mobile phone has AI in it. And if I have an answer, what temperature is it in New York City today? You ask it. It's just a tool. And the way you should look at AI is, of course, you don't know everything, but the things you don't know lie here. So if I have access to infinite knowledge and instant answers, all the experience I have in life, all the knowledge I have, plus this makes me unstoppable. And that's the way everybody should look at AI. It's not that it's going to take, you should look at it as going to take my job. Is that AI and me equal infinite possibilities, equal job increase in salary. Maybe it's a new boat, a new car. That's the way you're supposed to look at it. Don't look like, oh, AI is going to take my job. No, AI and me, forget about it. Whatever my wife wants for the weekend, she could have it. Whatever. Buy two of them. That's the type of attitude you should have.
So what apps do you use most often?
I love one called Claude, but that's a little bit nerdy. But the one I recommend everybody to use, and everybody's heard, is ChatGPT. That is absolutely fantastic. Use it, and it's free. By the way, question for everybody. does you just put up your finger if you have video on? Do you use AI now? Does everybody use AI? Yes. Cool. Is there anybody, turn on your microphone just quickly, just say no if you don't use AI. Just do a quick poll. Anybody? No. So everybody's a nerd on this call. Okay, we got a bunch of nerds. Very cool.
Well, but
Then let me ask.
there's a caveat there.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you know, the issue is, do we use it? Or do I use it? And when am I using it correctly? I don't believe I am, because I'm not a nerd, and I'm that generation. This prior to, I wasn't happy when IBM gave the math department its first computer system. It took over a whole classroom, and there was these machines, the dials and cards and stuff. So we're this generation is a bit behind, and I do construction management consulting, and I listened to a lecture about the different types of AI and the quality of each type. And I'm trying to decide what's the best for me to use and how to utilize it most deeply for
Mhm.
my profession. And I'm having a hard time figuring that out.
And you said you're in construction management consultant?
Yeah, I do a European master builder model. I was after university and graduate school, I went to Germany and became a master journeyman carpenter, and then the field goes into master builder,
Okay.
and so I
And
basically
so,
consult with investors on property and problem solving.
okay. And what is a typical question they usually have? Is that a curiosity?
It's more the typical question I have doing research on different codes or municipal issues. You get involved. I get involved in real estate. I get involved in code issues. I get involved in feasibility. I've got engineering questions I ask myself in order
Got
to
it.
to
Got it.
respond most
Got it.
intelligently.
Got it. So let's do a live demo and show you how to use it. Okay. All right. Here we go. So this is easy. So I have a Google Gemini on my mobile phone, and it's the free version. This doesn't cost anything. And how do you use AI today in May of 2025? You just talk to it. That's it. So I asked you, Charles, what business you were in, right? And you're in construction management, something, right? And you said you have questions on codes and things like that. So I'll do a simulation if I'm you, or actually, you can even ask it a question. So even though I'm in Oslo, you could access my AI from where you are. So let's just do a live thing. So let me see if this thing's available. Okay. Hi, are you available for me?
Of course, I'm here for you. What's on your mind today?
I am talking to a fellow alumni right now, live on a Zoom call with people all over the world. And he's in construction management, and he has questions about zoning rights and different things in the United States. And he's wondering, what is your knowledge base on that? Can you just quickly just give him some confidence that you're up to date and aware of what's going on?
Sure, zoning laws in the US can vary a lot between states and even cities. They basically control what kind of buildings can be put where, like houses, stores, or factories. There are also rules about how big buildings can be, how far they need to be from the street, and even things like parking. It's definitely a complex area, and staying up to date on local regulations is super important for anyone working in construction management.
Thank you very much. Just hold on one second, please. That's how you use it. There's no, when I said the word nerd before, I probably should have never said that. The world of using AI is no longer regulated to nerds. If you know how to have a conversation, you know how to use AI. That's it. Whatever question you have about whatever topic, you have, okay, let's do another one. I love doing demos. It's so cool. After the Zoom call that I'm on, I have to cook a quick dinner. I got some ground beef, some old onions, and some stale potatoes. What should I cook?
That sounds like the start of a hearty meal. You could make a classic shepherd's pie, just brown the beef with the onions, then layer it with mashed potatoes and bake it. Or, for something quicker, How about a beef and potato hash? Just dice the potatoes and onions, mix them with the cooked beef, and fry it all up until crispy. You could even add some cheese on top for extra flavor.
My wife's coming over and it's her birthday. Do you think that's an acceptable dinner for her, or should I go out and spend a lot of money? What do you think?
If you present it nicely with some candles and maybe a small cake, I'm sure your wife will appreciate the effort. It's the thought that counts.
Have fun.
So,
There's just one thing is that the latest study on AI, how people are using AI, I think is really important. And they looked at it from January this year until April of this year. And they looked at it in the United States. I'm sorry, it was a global study. And they also focused on the United States. And the results was the same in both, which was shocking. What is the number one area that people are using AI for today? Does anybody can guess? Go for it, Ted. Get off of mute. Ted, we can't hear you. Somebody put you on mute. Somebody unmute Ted. Ted's struggling. He's yelling over there. We can't hear him.
I just said, wait a minute. Cooking.
Cooking. No, not number one. You're gonna be amazed. No, but that's very good though. That cooking was the top 5 last year. Anybody else want to guess? What is the number one thing everybody in the world, no matter what culture, nationality, language, religion, is using AI for?
Directions to find someplace?
Yeah.
No, that was 2-3 years ago.
Emails. Writing emails.
Email. No.
Writing emails.
No.
Search.
No. It's something, I'll give you a hint. It's something incredibly important to every single one of us.
Health.
Yeah, health question.
Health is top 3. The answer is, well, actually, it's mental health. People are using it globally. And remember, these AIs now speak multiple languages, as many as 75 languages now. When they're lonely or down, after COVID, things got a little bit strange. People forgot how to be with each other and things like that. It is number one uses for mental health. People are walking around and talking on their phones, or they got those earpods or something, and you think they're talking to somebody else. They're not talking to somebody else. They're talking to their AI. And they're saying, I don't have a girlfriend, or I don't have a boyfriend, and it's really lonely, and I don't want to be lonely tonight. Do you mind talking to me? Do you want to do a demo? Look, let's do it right now. I don't mind putting myself. That's what Margie wants me to do. Anyway, here we go. Hi. I'm here. I'm home alone tonight, and I'm alone every single night. And it's not nice being alone. And did you mind if we just have a little conversation to keep me company?
I'm here for you. What's been on your mind lately?
Well, I'm wondering if I'm ever going to find somebody. Can you give me some words of confidence, or what should I think, or what should I do? It just really breaks my heart.
It's completely understandable to feel that way sometimes, but remember, everyone's journey is different, and finding someone special can take time. Focus on being the best version of yourself, and the right person will come along when you least expect it. In the meantime, enjoy your own company and the things you love to do.
And that's just Google Gemini. You have ChatGPT, you have DeepSeek, you have so many different AIs, and they have different tones, different voices, which means you have all these AIs there for you. So the number one use globally is mental health. People don't want to be alone anymore. And I think it's fantastic that there's actually a solution for it. It's a shame it's not something with a pulse, but it's great that people are no longer alone. So
Can I ask a question?
yeah, please, Jim.
This is Jim Cornish. What level of confidence would you say someone who's just starting to use AI should have in its accuracy? I mean, people are, beginners are probably a little wary about the accuracy of the information that you get from AI.
Yeah, in the AI world they call hallucinations, where it hallucinates an answer and just makes something up. And they've been working on that, and the number of hallucinations has diminished drastically. So I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you're doing a thesis paper or a research paper. Then there are tricks you can do to make sure that it doesn't hallucinate. Literally, if you don't want it to make things up, if I should have done in the demo, I would just say, please be as accurate as possible with the answer you give me, right? I'm really feeling down now, and your answer could influence me emotionally. It will use a lot more time. So today, the AI actually, when you're looking at it on your screen, on the PC screen or your mobile phone, it actually says thinking for 1 second. It has a countdown or has a counter because it actually now thinks. And so the chance of it giving an accurate answer is extremely high today. So you shouldn't worry about it too much, especially with the conversations I've had with so far. No, what's to worry about? You know?
But if you need accurate facts for something, if you, like you said, if you're doing research, I'm in a service business. If I want to do some research on a prospective client and
Yep,
I get incorrect information, I'm going to be embarrassed, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Just tell it, please be as accurate as possible and use as much time as you need to get the right answer. That is the trick that we all tell everybody, and that's it. It doesn't hallucinate.
Interesting. Okay.
It's that's
Thank
so
you.
it's literally, if you know, look, you all know how to have a conversation. You know how to use AI. That's it. That's the end of the presentation. We're there today. It is that simple, and it's free. Isn't that amazing? I mean,
Yeah.
they should be charging for these things, um, and they do charge. And you can pay $20 a month to the latest, most expensive version of ChatGPT is $200 a month, and that one is with researchers. For $200 a month, when you could give it a question about what happens at the quantum level, and the record right now for a ChatGPT to think is, I think it was 3 days. The guy asked it a question, and it took 3 days before he gave it. But the question he answered, the guy has like 4 PhDs, so he answered such a in-depth question. It took it 3 days to figure it out, but his answer was actually accurate. So that's where we are. This is not. I should never use the word nerds. I slap myself in the face. It's all of us know how to have a conversation. We've all been, talking to people our whole lives. Talk to it, ask it whatever it is. I talk to my AI all the time for everything. There's no limit. Matter of fact, when I'm working on a business model, business strategy, I question myself before I send anything out. I'm always interacting with my AI. I'm thinking, I'm going this way with this strategy, but I'm not sure. Well, take into account this. Oh, okay. But then I start debating with it, and I end up smarter, better outcome, and I'm happy. And all I did was talk.
Do you use different applications?
Yeah, I like to play around and use different ones, just to see which one gives me a better answer. One of the tricks I like to do is I like to start off with one, have a discussion with one, and when I get to the answer of whatever it is, right? Say I'm working on a business model, right? I say, okay, we're done. I take the conclusion, the finished business model, and then that's where I start with the next one, saying, ChatGPT, we just worked on all this, this entire business model. Here's the outline, or here's the whole 30-page document. Now, I want you to review it, and I want you to criticize and look into these following areas, and then it does, and I go through it, and then I go to the next one. The cost is zero. There's no cost to me but my time. But it's sort of me paying this sort of in the old world. It's talking to consultant number one, getting an answer, then giving that answer to consultant number two, then consultant number three. How much would that have cost in the old world? Right, a couple of $1,000s an hour.
Yes.
Right, and in this world, the cost is zero. But by the time I'm done, my God, I'm so smarter. My answer is so precise, and I'm so confident. I'm feeling good. I think this is fun.
How do you give it a 30-page document?
You just attach it. On the screen of any of these AIs, they have a plus button, and you hit plus, and it opens up a window, and you just attach whatever document you have. Or you could flip it around. You can take a document, or you could give it a link to a video, So let's say, when my TED talk, it's about a 16, 17-minute TED talk. Let's say you don't have 16, 17 minutes. You give it the link to the video and say, please summarize. And it'll watch the video for you, and then it'll give you a short summary. So a lot of students are now doing that when their teacher has recorded the 3-hour lecture or whatever. And, kids don't have time to sit through a 3-hour lecture. We didn't have time to sit through a 3-hour lecture, but we had to, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they just put the lecture into the AI, and the AI gives them the breakdown of the notes. And then they say, okay, give me the questions that the teacher will ask me as homework and prepare for the test. And the AI will give them the questions for the test. And then they can either choose to answer the questions verbally, and the AI will act as a teacher or as a tutor. It's a whole different world, education today. It's very interactive, and you're just talking if you want, or you can use the PC. But learning today is you have these one-on-one tutors with AI. Cost, again, zero, just your time.
If,
No rate,
question.
just
Oh,
go for
sorry.
it.
No, somebody
Please.
else should talk.
yeah, if I were to create something like music or art or literature using AI, would I be able to copyright it, or does it actually belong to the universe?
Very good question. The answer is you will be able to copyright it. It is your own. Yes.
Will
question.
AI be stealing it?
This is the slippery slope. So this is still in court and hasn't been concluded. The way AI learns is from whatever's been done before. So when you look at Google has an AI program, I forgot what it's called, where it helps to create music. The way they trained it was they basically let it loose, and it's been listening to all the music going back to infinity, right? And therefore it understands music. So when you ask it, or when you try to compose music with it, there's a big question about what song did it take, what rhythm, what verse, what did it steal and then contribute to you, and to you then made it tweak. Did you actually steal something from something else, or was it actually original? This is actually now in the courts. It's a gray area today.
Mm-hmm.
But as it is today, whatever music you create with AI, that is yours. But again, you could look at the question of when an artist today, May 28th, creates a song, he or she is influenced by listening to somebody before, right? So is it that person before's music, and should they give them credit, or they were just influenced because they heard something when they were a child? This is a gray area.
One question to further follow up on that.
Yeah.
Does AI differentiate between good music, mediocre music, and bad music, or does it take from everything?
It takes from everything. But if like Margie started singing right now, I'm sure the AI would say, not sure if that's good music or not, right?
What do you mean? That's low.
Thomas, question. So, I noted that you said you were using Gemini. Are certain applications better for different type of, what's the best one for art? Which is the best one for writing you a paper in English, or are they all pretty much the same?
Every single week, one of the AIs come out with a new version that is 5 or 10% better than the other one. So the answer to your question is just use one and enjoy. Because next week somebody else will be number one on the list. The following week another competitor. Why are you going to chase the race? We're talking about incremental improvements. So use the AI so fancy. You saw that, right? It's pretty good. Choose one and use it. Don't, just because I said Gemini, I actually prefer to use Claude. A lot of people prefer to use ChatGPT. Whatever. The Chinese one like DeepSeek is fantastic. Go for it. Elon Musk, if you like him or love him, he's made a phenomenal AI called Grok, which you could access on X, which was Twitter. Grok is amazing. We should use Grok now. And that's for free, right? And of course, there's a paid version. Just use it and talk to it. That's what you should start off with. You could always, type in text if you like to do that. Just use it. Go for it. There's nothing to stop you.
Thomas, how can users protect protect their privacy when using AI tools? We were talking
Yeah,
about here with Evan.
yeah, that's a great question. So, within each one of those programs, when you create your profile, and let's stick to Gemini or Grok, doesn't matter. When you create your profile, you choose your username and password. We all know that. So it creates a profile. In your profile, they always have a box saying, the information you share, do you want to share it to make the AI smarter? Make sure you uncheck that box. And that's all you got to do. So that means that every question you ask, every document that you attach, like we were talking about before, or every link to a video that you wanted to analyze or whatever, that stays between you and the AI. It is not shared with the development team to make the AI smarter. So there's always a box, just uncheck it, and that's it. Then you have your own little private domain. Okay. They don't want you to uncheck it. They want you to they want all your data. So please uncheck the box. That's all you got to do. Super simple.
I've got a two-part question.
Yeah.
When you were at Hackley with class of 84, who were some of your English teachers?
Oh wow, Ms. Dukart. God, you're nailing me to the wall.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
All right,
Margie,
let me make it
Margie,
easier.
save me, Margie, please.
Anything?
Huh?
Anything?
Of course. Go forth and spread beauty and light. Man.
All right, so and what I think a lot of us had Mr. Nathan. So how do you think if you snuck your telephone into comp, that in my day we had, I guess, the period on Tuesdays before we went to chapel, and said, write me an essay on X, Y, or Z, whatever that day's topic was. How do you think Mr. Nathan would have graded that? How would they come out?
First of all, Mr. Nathan would say the following. Child. That deep, harsh voice that scared the crap out of all of us.
Yep.
How he would have graded it. I think he would have tore it apart. I am a Mr. Nathan fan to the day I die and beyond. What he taught went beyond just the English language. He taught it the beauty of words. He taught the beauty of story. And even though AI can write a story for me, I like to write my story first and then give it to the AI. A lot of kids today are cheating themselves because they want the AI to give them the final product. But there is a beauty that Mr. Nathan and other teachers actually taught us, right? The creation, the thought, the process of thinking, that magic that happens between you and a piece of paper. God bless Hackley for teaching me all that. So yeah, you could do it, but you're missing out on the art of what we learned at Hackley.
I agree totally. I think Mr. Nathan was very special.
Yeah,
But Hackley has had a lot of great English teachers as well. And and Margie, I think the point is we ought to go back to having comp at Hackley. So
comp, that was Mondays, I think, back in my day.
well,
1 hour.
They switched it around, but they don't have comp. They don't have a comp period every week like they used to.
Oh my God, they got out of jail for free. Wow. Okay. That used to scare me. I'm sorry, Margie?
They do it differently. They do have comps, but they're not every week.
Okay.
That's a whole other conversation, though.
Yeah.
I've got another question. Are you done?
Sure.
Did you finish your?
I'm done.
Okay. Can we trust AI to give reliable medical advice? For example, can it read blood work? And how much medical knowledge can it store? And how advanced can it get in this area?
Wow. Loaded question. The answer is in a story. I recently had a blood test, and first thing I did when I got home was I downloaded the PDF of my blood results, and I uploaded it into the AI, and I asked it, please explain these blood results to me as if I'm a eighth grader, or I think it was something like that, or eighth grader. And I said, because I'm not a doctor, right? And I have like my hemoglobin levels, and I wanted to know, what does each one of these things mean? I said, so look at my blood test results and go line by line and explain to me what each one means and what does the range mean. my God, it was so beautiful and how simplistic it explained every single thing in my blood work. And then I asked it, overall, am I in good health, bad health? What are your recommendations? And it did give me all these wonderful recommendations. So absolutely, you should be sharing that information as long as it's not shared with the developers, right? Uncheck the box. So I do it, and my son, who's in his fourth year medical school, um, when I told him I did, I thought he would yell at me, and he's like, "Papa, I do that with all the blood results work we do at school." So I mean, that's what medical students do today. How advanced is AI in healthcare? There is a hospital in China that is only an AI hospital. They have AI doctors and AI nurses. And when you go to this hospital, you are treated fully by AI. That's it. So it is so far advanced that it is treating people for multiple conditions. And China is now experimenting with just using AI to replace doctors, or not to replace, they're more supplementing doctors because they have such a large population and have people in remote communities. It's better to have an AI hospital than not to have any hospitals and no one to treat them at all, right? And by the way, the most advanced AI I'm aware of in terms of AI combined with robots, and I hope we get into robots later. That'll be exciting. AI has now done, in terms of orthopedic surgery, that again, this is a Chinese AI robot. It has now completed its 30,000 surgery, orthopedic surgery with knees, hips, shoulders, and things like that, as of the end of Q1 this year. So this thing is not coming. It already happened. And we are progressing into age in which healthcare, longevity, quality of life is going to increase for everyone. And even if you are poor today, and if you're in a third world country, you take a picture of your blood results and you put that into the AI and you can ask, how do I take care of myself? I have access to these fruits. And even if you don't know the fruits, take a picture of the fruit, right? And say, I have access to this fruit. I have this tree in front of me. I have this stream. What can I do to better my health? And it will give you a detailed plan of what to do, how often you want to do it. It's like having a doctor with you all the time. It's like having a best friend with you all the time. Yeah.
What are the outcomes at this Chinese hospital? Have they been examined?
Yeah. So far they said is over 80% satisfaction and increasing.
Satisfaction?
Huh? In terms of, they are looking at patients when they walk out saying, are they happy? Was the experience positive? Was it weird to only interact with AI? So that's getting better and better. The thing is we human beings. I'm sorry?
Mortality rate results.
No, there's
measurable results.
No, the mortality rate is non-existent. No one's been hurt as of yet.
Okay.
What the concern is, look, if tomorrow you go to work or you come home and your wife or husband or whatever has purchased an AI robot and is cooking you dinner, that's going to freak you out. Okay, that we're human beings, we don't like such big change. So what's happening now in the tech world is that we are slowly rolling out these things because we have to slowly roll it out because human beings don't like change. We can instantly give everybody all this stuff, but human beings would. So it's a slow implementation now. The technology is very advanced, but as humans and the way we react is what's actually slowing it down.
It sounds to me like you're reacting to my question in terms of likes. Do people like it? But what I'm trying to say is, does it have measurable outcomes that are superior or at least the same as a regular hospital?
Yes. The outcome, so that the conclusion was, in terms of, I'm trying to remember this thing. The outcomes that the AI gave was assessed by human doctors, and there was over 97% of the outcomes given by the AI were the same exact outcomes a human doctor would have given. That's where it's at today, and is only getting better.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And just remember today, just remember the way when we go to AI hospital, you got to reset your brain. A traditional hospital today, if you're with your doctor in your room, that doctor cannot see another patient. You go into an AI hospital, is only limited by the number of rooms because that one AI can be in 50,000 places at the same time. Understand? Yep. So an AI hospital it's what an amazing solution. But as human beings, we only think of, well, I'm with my doctor. My doctor can't be with you. He's with me. That type of thinking doesn't work anymore. Kind of cool, isn't it? And also a nurse too. So think about home health care. How much do nurses cost if you want a nurse to attend you at home and things like that? You want a doctor to visit you at home. If you know how to do a Zoom call, you now can have access to a doctor 24/7 or a nurse 24/7. And then when I talked about the robots, I love going into robots. The robots are coming, and the robots are going to be very cheap. And probably one of the first areas they'll come will be in factories and things like that. And only because to get human beings used to having robots. Again, it's us who are slowing it down. But the second area will probably be healthcare. And so this Christmas, the price of a robot will be around $10,000, and it have the full intelligence of ChatGPT and Gemini. It'll have everything in his brain. It'll have the dexterity of a ballerina. It'll have the functionality of it could bend, it could turn, it could do whatever it wants. It looks like us. And by the way, the skin of the robot, because you don't want to have a metal robot, it would freak you out. It's too much like Netflix and things like that. Or maybe some people would like to have it. So what they've learned is that people like having something that looks like them, right? So you could choose the hair color, whatever. But what's amazing is they've now got the texture of human skin down. So when you bump into your robot at home, you go, oh, excuse me, sorry. And it'll feel like a normal person. It won't be like hitting a tin can or something like that. So home healthcare, having a home nurse or home doctor is one subscription away. Because that won't be free. So you'll probably pay whatever, $199 a month, and you'll have a robot while you sleep at night. It'll be sitting in the room or standing or whatever, listening to you breathe. So if you have any, sleep apnea or anything like that, or you have a momentary whatever, it will come over and take care of you for $199 a month. That's nothing. Yes, please.
Thomas, Jim Cornish again. But isn't your example of the home healthcare worker a situation where people are going to lose jobs? Human beings, you don't need the human being anymore. You can get the robot. So people are going to lose work because of that, right?
I think yes and no. So there aren't, if we look at the next 3 to 5 years, there are not enough people to service all the, if we just look at the elderly, right? The elderly population is very high in terms of demographic, right? Because of baby shortage. So we don't have enough people, nurses, qualified registered nurses to be sitting in somebody's house in my example. So the robots will supplement. So I don't think in the beginning that will be a problem. And the beginning being 3 to 5, maybe up to 10 years from now, that will not be a problem. I think it'll be fantastic. I think people will pay a premium to pay for a human being to sit in that room because that's much more expensive. Right. But that robot will be a lot cheaper, but that robot will be intellectually smarter because remember, here's something that's also important. We have to rewire our brain with this because we're always thinking as human beings. The robot that's sitting in that room is connected to the internet. So another robot that learns something, say another robot somewhere in the world is actually in an operation room or is reading the research paper and found out that in Portugal, they have a new solution to treat something. That information is then uploaded to every robot in the world simultaneously. So the robot is sitting there at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning looking at you breathe is right now learning about all the newest things that are happening in different parts of the world in different languages. And when you wake up the next morning, this robot is now 20, 30% smarter. Human beings, you're the nurse that's sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to stay awake to watch you. She or he is not going to be smarter. They're going to be exhausted. So there is a huge upside for this AI robot future that we're going into. It's just we human beings got to get used to that, right? It's a different way of seeing, but there's a wonderful upside.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah, you've got to wrap your head around this. It's something worthy of a drink or something, a drink of water. Does anybody else have any questions before Margie asks me another difficult question and I stumble?
Creative arts. Are creative artists going to be obsolete? What's
Never. Never. God bless them. I'll stand on a picket line on this one. We need artists, creative thinkers, philosophers more than ever, and their need. Those will be some of the richest people in the future because we struggle in the AI world to come with creativity. So when I quite often when I want people to understand how difficult it is to simulate the soft stuff that makes us human. How do you write code to simulate that is so damn important. Impossible, sorry. So let me ask each one of you this question. All of you probably fall in love sometime in your life, right? Do you remember back when you were in high school and you saw that girl or you saw that guy and your stomach got all crumbly, your feet got all sweaty, or you got nervous, or you didn't know what to do with your hands or your hair? Do you remember that? We have no way. We have no idea how to program that. We have none. A moment of epiphany in which you connect dots and you go, my God, you know what? We don't know what that is. When you walk into a room and you see someone and your eyes connect and you just know that you have to be with that person. How do you write code for that? The human imagination, emotions, spontaneity, humor you can somewhat simulate and fake it. You know, if you look at all the funny movies in the past, an AI could fake humor. But love, emotion, very, very hard. It can simulate storytelling, but it can't simulate creativity. It can fake creativity. So the answer, sorry about that long answer, it's really close to me, is that the arts, the people in the arts are going to be the most cherished, richest, most needed people on the planet henceforth. More and more as the technology and AI and robots come, we need them more than we've ever needed them before.
Can AI analyze my golf swing if I make a video?
Yeah, this program.
I'm a musician, so can it tell me how to have a better bow arm? Like what exercise I should do?
So the answer is yes, and it's for free. So I saw a video this weekend that a kid took his mobile phone, put it across from him, and then went onto the golf driving range. And he had ChatGPT looking at his golf swing. And after he hit the ball, he would go to it, turn around, and say, "Okay, how should I correct it?" And ChatGPT told him what to do. And he stood there for an hour or so, and his golf swing got great. So yes, people use it for learning how to play the piano, learning how to play the guitar. You could use it for all that today. You could either shoot a video of it, you could take a picture of yourself doing it, and it'll correct you or give you advice. It's easy for it today.
For advanced violin players?
I don't know. Go for it if you're an advanced violin player, then let me know. That'd be cool to know that. Does anybody else have any great questions? These are really, really good questions.
I don't know how great, Thomas, but the reason I came onto this Zoom is I've been struggling with technology becoming a time sink. And if you could opine on how AI can cut through just the immense amount of wasted time over the last few years. Like example, trying to call my healthcare provider and you're put on hold just to get a little bit of information. I mean, I spent 3 hours the other day trying to get an answer. Okay, what's the cost of this? And they've siloed so much of this into, different
Yep.
departments, and they're all uneducated. I wanted to go online and try to find a spec sheet on a technical spec sheet on a microwave, something kind of
Mhm.
special. And the hours were it's a waste of time. Now, is AI going to help me solve that? So, example, I wanted to find the cost of something and why it costs so much. Well, they couldn't answer me. They said, well, it's in the manual we gave you. Well, the manual is, 110 pages. I said, just tell me the section and page. Well, I'll send you the manual. Technology's been great, but I see everybody is being overwhelmed in
Gotcha.
the amount of time they spend playing around, screwing around, distracting themselves, and I'm just
Gotcha.
looking for a smoother way out in my life to calm things down.
Your smoother way out is called an AI agent. So the answer is yes, and is
Okay.
already being deployed now. So everyone on this call and everyone in the world eventually will have their own AI agent. Think is your AI agent as your own personal secretary. And so this AI will you'll give it access to your email, your calendar, everything, and it will work 24/7 with talking to other AI agents. So in my head, the way I see it is we have human beings on this level, and every human being has their own AI agent. So AI agents are going to talk to other AI agents. So let's say I want to go out to, I want to take Margie out to dinner, right? Um, my AI agent will talk to Margie's AI agent, look at both our calendars, come up with a date, and just fill in the blank and both in calendars and make the appointment and then call the restaurant, make the reservation. Done. I didn't have to do anything. So how far are we from that? They're already being implemented. Google Gemini, they gave a demo 6 months ago of where the Google Gemini acted as an AI agent and ordered a pizza all by itself. So the technology can already do it. Not everybody has their own AI agent. So the goal is by the end of next year, human beings, us, we have to get used to the concept that we have an AI agent. We have an AI that's acts as a secretary that's going to manage our whole life. It will be on hold on the phone for us instead of you being on hold. It'll ask all the right questions. And then when that company invests in its own AI agent that has access to all that information, then my AI agent will talk to that AI agent and it'll get all the information I need. And then it'll contact me or give me an email or call me, say, hey, Thomas, or say, hey, Charles, you know what? Here's the answer to your question. Here's a summary of this. What else do you want to know? That's the way it's going to work. Understand? So AI agents for companies, AI agents for people, AI agents for restaurants, airlines, you name it. They're going to be AI agents all over the place working for companies and people, taking care of all this stuff, freeing us from huge amounts of time. No more being on home, no more frustration. This is all happening in the next year. This is being done now. And you could have it for yourself. Everyone will have, oh, by the way, you will not have one AI agent. You will have hundreds, if not thousands of AI agents working for you all the time, doing all the things you need to be done. This is, we talk about this all the time. This will be, technically can be done today. We have to roll out slowly because again, people have to get used to this concept, but it'll increase over time. Does that make you happy, Charles, to know that or not? Does that frustrate you? Does it piss you off? Or?
No, it's great. It's just I was hoping that you were going to say that, and we'll see how it we'll see how it transpires. I think everybody has these great ideas, and it's funny. My nephew just got back. Has been traveling to China, and he's told me about they don't use money anymore. It's all
Mhm.
integrated on the phone. But what he told me is that he can go to any store, and there's one app for the entire country,
WeChat.
and it's all integrated that way, whether it's a music event or a restaurant or a cab ride.
Yep.
In America, it's broken down to every individual store, and the program's different, the utilization is different. but they've integrated a whole nation into one app. And
Yep.
that seems to be brilliant. And I understand kind of why they don't do it in America. But I think it's a real hole in the system because it makes it very difficult for each individual to kind of relearn on a micro level how to do this work. Whereas in China, it's just one-stop shopping.
Yeah. We let's keep it to the American focus. So the AIs go back to Google again, they made huge announcements like a week or two ago. It's phenomenal. So let's say you are doing online shopping. And the reason why I use Google is because they launch everything for the American audience first. So all you got to get this first. I'm assuming all you in the United States. So whenever you do online shopping now with using Google Gemini, the AI, Gemini is going to ask you to just back up from your mobile phone, and it's going to ask you to stand there, turn around. It's going to take a picture of you or a video of you. And now from henceforth, whenever you do online shopping and you're buying a shirt, pants, or a dress, a blouse, a sweater, whenever you're shopping, it's going to put you inside those clothes. And then if you say, you know what, that's perfect, I want that, then Google Gemini will say, fine, which color do you want it? And it'll give you red, show you red, blue. Oh, that's it. Order that right now. You'll order it, already have your credit card, and then you'll have it the next day. That is and that actually is doable today. So that's also being rolled out within Google Gemini. Their AI is going to do that. And again, this is all happening next year. We're all going to have this where the internet for Americans is going to be whatever you see, you can get. You already do that now, but you have to click with your mouse and stuff like that. But now the AI is going to say, Evan, you looked really good with those high heel shoes. Do you want them in green and blue, right? Or Jim, the last time you ordered a tie was 2 years ago. Maybe you should order a black one. It will look really good to that suit that you have, Or Conrad, tomorrow is your wife's birthday. Would you like to order 24 roses? There's a sale at blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. Please do that. And Conrad's still playing the piano or something like that. This is the AI agent. This is where we're at. And this is all happening next year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's the American way. I won't say catching up to China. China just went a different way, and we're going at it a different way. But we're using AI to be advanced, where China has done everything in WeChat, and this one app that he was talking about is fantastic. But we're going to leapfrog that with AI.
Well, it's 1:00. Do we want to have one more question? Does anybody have one last question for Thomas?
I do. How will we know when an AI agent is available for us?
Oh, wow. They will push it to you so hard, it'll be impossible for you not to know. I don't think they're going to. The thing, again, remember, human beings were the sort of the logjam. But it's all about the marketing. Do you want to have something called an AI agent? So they're playing with what is the appropriate term that Americans would say, yeah, I have you don't want to call it an AI agent. You want to call it something. So they're working on that. And you can have it today, I would say by June, Christmas, between Christmas to Easter, you'll have your first version of it, the 1.01, and then it'll get progressively better and better and better and better. If you use Google Gemini now, you have access to it now, their newest one. So just look, download ChatGPT, Google, it doesn't matter, into your mobile phone, and just start talking to it. And talk to it. Matter of fact, you can keep it on while you're working, doing your job, and it will help you in your conversation. Do you know Zoom has an agreement with, I forgot what program it was, that the AI agent will be on the Zoom call? So we could actually have an AI agent on this call. An AI, not AI agent.